So Once Upon a Time Season 7 has begun to film, and that means throughout the rest of the summer, and in the fall of course, we'll be getting episode titles, sneak peeks, and maybe some script teases. And for this video, we got a new episode title and a couple on-set leaks. Now I really can't classify this as a leak for myself because it's done through Adam Horowitz. He is essentially Instagramming and tweeting out these photos because he wants people to be interested in his show. He's trying to market it to the best of his ability because he knows he's seen these numbers, I can only imagine. He knows that people have, kind of fallen out, so he really wants to pique people's curiosity. He wants to get the public back involved with Once Upon a Time. Now, these two photos, I have to say, are not the smartest that he could have leaked. I would have leaked out one with Hook. The reason why is because the next part of the video involves Captain Hook, and I would have loved to have had a themed episode just for the video itself, but also I think a lot of people really want to see where Colin O'Donoghue and Lana Parrilla and Robert Carlo, what they're really up to, or even a photo of these new actresses that they cast last week. But I think giving a video or even a still of those actresses before D23 or Comic-Con might be a little risky. However, Once Upon a Time is coming to D23 this Saturday, which is really cool, so hopefully we'll get some footage. I would love that because they have started to film, so that means they have maybe something to at least give us a mini trailer, just a little trailer, and then definitely something big for Comic-Con, at least casting announcements. I really would love to make a video on who these 5 actresses will be playing. So let's discuss what we saw for the on-set leaks. Now the first one is the more interesting of the two for me, and that is this photo of 2 stand-ins. It literally says, Light stands in day 2, Once Upon a Time. And it just says 2 people, and you can't even see who the male is, and you see a woman with blonde hair, and she's clearly having a conversation with him. Now, they're stand-ins, but for some reason, he feels they're important enough to tweet out. Now, who knows who they are standing in for? Now, because there are new identities, my guess, could be wrong, is there might be a cloaking spell on Regina, Rumple, and Hook, and that these stand-ins are kind of representing who these characters look like to the outside world. So we'll see, we'll see them really quick, but then it will show us, Regina talking to someone else. Now the man looks pretty young, so I can't imagine it's Hook or Rumple, so maybe my guess is completely wrong, but at the same time, maybe Hook has a young disguise, but then why would Regina, have an older woman disguise when Lana isn't even 40 and this woman looks to be probably over 40 or whatnot, but I could be wrong because it's just one photo. So anyway, we just have these 2 people talking. It looks like they're at maybe a construction site. There's a grate behind them. I don't really know what's going to be going on with the photo, but again, it's interesting because you get to see people. People is what you want to see because people sparks interest, so that's good, but again, they're stand-ins, so you really can't dissect it too much. A photo of Captain Hook with anyone would have been more interesting. The next photo, I really have absolutely no clue what's going on here because it's construction, and the caption under the photo is shooting #Once Upon a Time in Vancouver. What is that? He's clearly referring to the funky contraption between the 2 construction workers, but the still is so blurred or congested, I should say, due to the fact that you can see the reflection of the director's chair in the camera. It just looks kind of weird. And who knows if these guys are just setting something up for a green screen takeover. So I'm not a fan of this photo, and I'm not a huge fan of the first photo, but this one is even worse because it's too cluttered for me to really give a dissection of. And also it really looks like it's just something they're setting up to make sure everyone's safe on set. So I don't know what could be going on here, but what do you guys think about these 2 photos? Share your thoughts about them in the comments below. Maybe there's something I'm completely missing in my analysis, and I would love to know what you guys have to say. So the next part of the video is my favorite part because we have a second episode title for episode 2, obviously. It is called A Pirate's Life, which is clearly going to be focusing on our favorite pirate, Captain Hook. And I love it. Now, it's written by Jane Espen and Jerome Schwartz. Now, Jerome Schwartz has a fantastic resume of Once Upon a Time episodes. He's written Rocky Road, Smash the Mirror. Enter the Dragon isn't so great, but I loved Rocky Road. I love Smash the Mirror. Smash the Mirror was a 2-hour episode for season 4. That was great. He also wrote The Brothers Jones. He wrote Last Rites. He wrote the episode The Black Fairy, which I thought was a fantastic episode of season 6. He also wrote The Other Shoe, which was the most popular episode of Once Upon a Time season 6. So Jerome Schwartz, this is great. Like, I'm very, very confident in this episode. Jane Espenson, I'm not a super fan of, but Jerome Schwartz also wrote The Other Shoe, I'll Be Your Mirror, or not, he wrote I'll Be Your Mirror, but Jerome Schwartz wrote The Other Shoe with Jane Espenson, and he wrote Murder Most Foul with Jane Espenson, and Murder Most Foul was that Charming and Captain Hook team-up episode where Charming learned the truth about his father. So it's gonna be, it's a good writing combo. I think Jerome Schwartz is able to kind of balance out Jane Espenson's writing, and I know a lot of you guys are big fans of her. I just think she doesn't know how to balance her writing properly, because I feel like in her flashback, not her flashbacks, or how do I describe it? The way she writes is she focuses so much on one part of the story. For example, in Whiteout, like the main part of the storybook was so good with Elsa and Emma, but then her flashback, I found it to be really, really boring with Bo Peep, Charming, and Anna. I think it could have been done differently, or not even include Bo Peep. It would have. I actually, if I had to rewrite that episode, I would have done a flashback of Kristoff, Anna, and Kristoff and Charming. Excuse me. That would have been cool because they were claimed to have been really good friends. But anyway, Jerome Schwartz has worked with her on several episodes, and he's written some really good episodes. So I think this is a really good writing team. So I think this episode will be really cool. And also, A Pirate's Life is after the song from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, so they're giving some tons of kudos to Disney. With Hyperion Heights, a lot of you guys told me that's where the old Disney office used to be, so that was pretty cool. They're giving a nod to that, and then they're giving the Pirate's Life from the song from Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's pretty cool. So we have a lot going for us for this episode. I think this episode will be really, really good. Sometimes episode 2 isn't always so good, but Once Upon a Time seems to relatively disprove that, because the second episode of season 6 was actually stronger, in my opinion, than the premiere after having rewatched it. So I think season 2 episodes, or second episodes up for Once Upon a Time, are actually very much a strong point. So this is the news I have for Once Upon a Time so far. They will be coming to Comic-Con and D23 in the next 2 weeks, which is exciting. I will cover those as much as I can. I think for D23, I don't know exactly where I'll be on Saturday, but I will be home on Sunday to at least cover the news later, so we can still discuss it in a video. So anyway, thank you for watching my video about Once Upon a Time. I am looking forward to your comments down below, and we'll talk real soon. All right, guys.